Our next speaker, Kuter, has over 15 years of professional experience as a design leader. In her session today, Marie will shed light on the importance of creating diverse personas for an unbiased design process. Let's give her a warm welcome and get this session started.
Hello, my name is Marie. I am a UX consultant based in Geneva, Switzerland. I have worked for usability and UX for about 17 years now. I am personally and professionally involved in sustainability and particularly SDGs, so Sustainable Development Goals from the UN, numbers 4, 5, and 10, so quality education, gender equality, and reduced inequalities. Today, I'm going to talk to you about diverse personas, a research initiative I have just started. It focuses on avatars we select for our UX personas. But first, a bit of context. As you know, personas are fictional characters built to illustrate user groups for a product or a service. It is core to a user-centric approach of service and product design. A persona usually displays a name, age, avatar, pain points, expectations, etc. They are used throughout the project and shared among stakeholders to ensure we keep the final users in mind at all times. My research focuses on avatars. Because they are visual, often real-life portrait pictures, they tend to attract a lot of attention when looking at a persona. They also often occupy quite a lot of space on the persona format or slide. Selecting just one person to be portrayed as representative of one persona can be difficult. It can also lead to biases. For example, why did we choose this picture rather than another? And if I choose a man in his 50s to represent one category of users, will I still consider young women also present in this category? The core question my research focuses on is the following. How might we facilitate inclusive design by reducing the risk of biases induced by the selection of one single avatar to represent one persona? It will be articulated around three questions. First, can the choice of an avatar for a persona represent a bias? Then, do these biases prevent or limit inclusive design? And finally, if 1 and 2 are true, then what could be done to avoid those biases when selecting an avatar to illustrate a persona? In order to answer to these questions, what I have done is I started a form on Google Forms, and I will send you the link, and you can use the QR code that will be displayed here. In this form, people have two ways of answering. So either you answer to questions persona by persona, or you just send me your personas. I do not need everything. I just need the avatar, age, name, and that's it. So this is the form and what it looks like. So far, I've already had 55 answers, and that leads to about 152 personas. I then collect all the answers through Google Form, and even if my sample is not quantitatively representative yet, I'm more aiming at around 380 personas to analyze. I have already started compiling the data and preparing an identification of first trends and qualitative data in order to be able to conduct complementary interviews. Okay, so what did it lead to? Even if my sample is not quantitatively representative now, I still wanted to share with you first trends that I've been identifying on those results. First of all, I focused on gender. I'm going to try and analyze data towards gender, skin color, age, and handicap. And the first one I started to cover is gender. mostly because I'm involved in women in tech communities, so that seemed like a more natural first step. I'm going to share a few first findings that I identified so far. The first one that can be interesting, in my opinion, is that men personas are 80% more likely to wear glasses than women personas. Remember, we're talking about avatars, so the picture, the illustration, the portrait representing one persona. It's quite significant here because glasses are an accessory that represent maybe intellect or intelligence, or a serious person, or someone with an important job. So this figure is quite significant, to be confirmed with the next data that I collect. Also, men avatars are 46% more likely to wear business outfits than women personas. Women are, in opposition, more likely to be wearing casual outfits. And men are also more likely to be wearing professional outfits, so high-vis vests, for example. So again, we tend to choose an avatar for a persona that's more a man when it's about business. Another key finding seems to be that women are more likely to be looking downwards, and men are more likely to be looking upwards. So when we analyze pictures and especially portraits, the eye direction is quite important, and looking up, it gives a more positive feeling, and looking down is more negative energy for this person. And finally, expert personas are more likely to be men, whereas manager personas are more likely to be women. So this is also interesting because it doesn't mean that women, this research is not showing that women are not featured with a high and an important management role and business role, but they are more managers, slightly more managers, whereas men are more experts. So in experts, I mean professionals with an expertise. So they can be consultants, someone who's an expert in architecture, for example, a physician, a doctor, are also included, nurse, an economist, an academic, for example. So women are more managers and men are more experts. In conclusion, diverse personas research first findings tend to indicate that there is actually a bias when selecting an avatar to represent a persona. We tend to choose men avatars for expert roles and women for management. We tend to associate men with glasses, business outfits, and women with more casual clothing. We tend to feature men looking upwards and women looking downwards in a less energetic, less powerful attitude. Reducing these differences could already be a good practice. Think about it. Are men really wearing glasses more than women in real life? My research is only at a very early stage, and my sample is mostly European at the moment. I will be sharing more findings as I make progress. Don't hesitate to follow the website or connect with me on LinkedIn. Feel free to share your personas through the forum and share with your network as well. Thanks a lot for listening, and take care.